Part 1 saw me come up with a pose and a face for my own semi-realistic version of the Todd McFarlane comic book character Spawn. Today we're going to move on to that impressive frame of his and see if we can come up with some sort of background. I want the bottom portion of the drawing to be really dark, kind of like his cape is blocking out the light from behind, but in contrast I'm going to experiment with quite a light background at the top of the drawing, with perhaps sun rays or rain pouring in from the top right corner. We'll see how I'm feeling later on. Spawn features this M shape which tapers towards the top of his chest, which made life a little tricky when shading in the muscle definition. I didn't want these shapes to feature too much of a sharp edge. Instead I wanted them to blend seamlessly into the suit. The Spawn suit is actually a living entity, similar to that of Venom, therefore I felt blending the chest shapes in made it look a lot more organic and less synthetic. Now it's just a bit of elbow grease, making sure the tones are nicely blended and none of the paper grain is still visible. As I previously mentioned, the bottom portion is going to be quite dark, which is quite handy as it gives me a little bit more leeway with the chains. It means I don't have to be too clear or accurate basically. So I wasn't sure what colour to use for the background. Whenever in doubt however, I always refer back to some basic colour theory. I find choosing a complementary colour is always a good shout to make the subject pop from the page even more. So with the red of the cape as the main colour, this blue-green aqua colour is a perfect tone to complement the subject. I then got cracking on adding some heavy raindrops for some intensified drama. I had these reference images in mind when making the decision to add the rain. I just love the drama they convey. There's something about a character standing in the rain which is so effective in creating solemnness and dignity, especially suiting bearing in mind the dark origins of this character. So that's my interpretation of Spawn. I really hope you like how this turned out.